Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here. It is Wednesday, July 12th, about 5:30 p.m. For those of you that have not heard, BWI Airport has finally set up a staging area for us. It's actually off the terminal route. It's on Elkridge Landing Road. It's a parking lot that I guess they use for holding vehicles and or other such nonsense. Problem is, it's probably designed for a capacity of about 50 vehicles, and right now there's probably 75 in here, myself included. It is a hot mess. I don't know why they don't open it up and give us the larger parking lot right next door where the buses are sitting, but they didn't. They gave us this little tiny corner lot, and literally it's fence parking, so you've got people parked all around the perimeter of this funny little L-shaped fence, and then 2 lanes down the middle. And when I say it's a mess, it's a mess. I've already sent a message to Uber through the help support. God knows what that's going to do. It's probably up to the airport to decide where they want to put us. So this is the deal. So 64 cars in queue. We're going to see how long it takes. I will catch you guys later. Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here. About 8 p.m. I am just leaving the new staging area for Uber at the airport. It's a hot mess. I'm not going to lie. The cops got called down a couple times because the parking lot's too small. There's too many vehicles, too much confusion, too much of everything. So what's happened now is it's just become like a cluster F, if you know what I mean. So I am bugging out. The queue was at 52 when I got here. It's only at 47, 15 minutes later. Everybody's tensions are a little bit high, and I'm just not in the mood to wait. I've got about $50 in as of 8 o'clock, which is not a bad start to my night. So rather than squander it sitting here for an hour to get an airport ride, I'm just going to get the hell back to the city while I can, and all these other Uber drivers are stuck here. So, but I want to make an observation, because we were all standing around just kind of smoking and joking and talking. I don't smoke, but you know the expression. Commiserating about the frustration with this parking lot facility. And one of the drivers, an Uber driver, his phone was going off that said, "Drive to the BWI, you're getting a ride," and he had no idea what that meant. So, you know, I wasn't being mean to him. I explained to him what that means is that you're going to get a ride if you get to the airport. You're next in line. And he said, "I literally never knew what that meant." So that tells you that awareness and education is definitely a piece. You know, I don't think there's enough training. I don't think there's enough tutorials on how to use the app. I don't think people really understand the nuance. And so that's, you know, I gave him my card. I said, "Look, bud, text me when you get a chance, and we can, you know, we can talk, because I can fill you in on some of the tips." And I don't know if he ever will or not. You know, maybe the guy, you know, thinks he knows everything. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But it just tells me that there's an awareness piece that a lot of these guys that are converting over to Uber and Lyft are not 100% confident with the software. Or with technique, or with their approach to finding customers. And I'm not perfect. I am by far no means perfect. I've had a couple stinky nights in a row. I felt like the volume of traffic in the city was low Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I took Tuesday off. But just generally, and that could be because vacation mode is here. I don't know. So, you know, I can only speculate on why. But I just felt like, hey, you know what? I'm not quite making the numbers I was making in May and June. You know, let me look internally and see what I'm doing differently. Now, my tips are going up on average, which tells me that my service level has increased as my confidence has increased. But my general amount of rides has decreased. And more so, the long distance rides have decreased. So I'm seeing less people traveling from the burbs into the city and less people traveling from the city out to the burbs. So that's typically where I notice the difference, is not the little $3, $4 rides, you know, Joe Schmo back and forth from work to home or from the bar to home. It's in those bigger $10, $15, $20 fares, somebody coming from Bel Air, or somebody coming from, Towson or Columbia and driving all the way into the city or back out. So just leads me to speculate some more about the dynamics of the drive. And so, that's just food for thought. But this education piece, guys, this is huge. If there's Uber drivers out there that don't even know what the app's telling them, how is that negatively affecting our customers' experience? How is that negatively affecting Uber? It's definitely negatively affecting those drivers because they're losing fares. So food for thought, just food for thought for everybody. I will keep you guys posted on this whole airport drama. Supposedly some of the other guys there said that they're going to open up the parking lot, a secondary lot that's behind the lot that we've all been fussing with today. And that will create a little bit more square footage for us all. We will see. Right now, avoid the airport like the plague for the next couple days. Drop your customer off and then get back out. Get out on the road, head back to the city, head back to DC, whatever you like to do. Excuse me, but don't wait at the airport because it's a mess. And the cops are tense. Some of these guys were pretty riled up. They weren't exactly talking and listening to reason. Some of them were pretty cool, and they were just, sharing in our frustrations about this whole process. And some of them were kind of like, I don't care, I got a job to do, and that job is to kick you out of here because there's too many people. So, I think it's like everything else in life. There's people that know how to handle their frustration and people that don't. And I think some of the cops that have been called out here multiple times are frustrated. Maybe rightly so, but maybe wrongly so. I don't know. So it's going on the 5-minute mark for this little video. I'm going to snip it in with my earlier one when I started tonight, and then I'll snip that one in with my ending wrap up. So they'll all be now in one video, and I will let you guys know how I do. Catch you guys later. Hey guys, it is Mike from Baltimore Rides here. Wednesday, July 12th. Wrap-up video. It's actually in the morning, Thursday, about 2 a.m. But for all intents and purposes, this is still a Wednesday video. So I'm on 83 North right now. That's kind of why the camera's bouncing around a little bit. But it was a good night. I finished with about 150 through the app and probably 20 bucks in tips, maybe 25. I'm not sure. I lost count somewhere. No, it was 20. So $170 on a Wednesday night. I'm happy with that. After the past couple dismal nights I've had, Monday night was slow. Sunday night felt slow. Today's a get back on the horse kind of night where everything falls into the groove and my numbers are where they need to be. So that puts me kind of about 50 bucks behind schedule for the app week to date. Now I only have Monday and tonight in, but usually 2 shifts at $150 a night would be $300, putting me almost a third of the way towards my $1,000 a week goal. So I've got to make up a little bit of ground, which I'm fine with. The city's been kind of sleepy. The Orioles are still out for the count. They will not be back in home until the end of the week. There's no real big concerts coming up. The airport is still a catastrophe. And with this whole new staging waiting zone for us. And the conventions that are in town this week, it's like a fraternity or fraternal organization, and mathematicians or science teachers or some educators kind of group. So not really party goers, nothing really wild and crazy going on. And that again, the food industry, the restaurateur industry, those industries are tied to my industry because we all are linked together. If they're not going out to eat and going out to drink, then they don't need a ride. And if they're not drinking, especially, then they don't need a ride back. So, symbiotic relationship. I'm kind of holding the phone to keep it a little bit more stable because 83 is just making it bounce for some reason. But, that's where we are. So I felt like tonight was a good night. back in the saddle night. I started it just a little bit early. I think I was in the city by like 4:15. And honestly, that was by accident. I had a whole bunch of errands I had to run from the house and got done a little bit early, and it didn't make sense to go inside for 30 minutes and then leave again. So I just I texted the wife and said I'm just heading into the city, and I left it a little bit early. So it ended up working out pretty well because I stopped and got some things I needed to get on the road into the city, vacuumed out the car, gassed up, and was able to get into town before rush hour was really bad. And I ended up having to divert because there was an accident on 695. So I ended up having to take 129 and the back roads. So, it was a good thing that I did leave when I did, so I wouldn't have been late. But that's where we stand, guys. So I'm going to wrap it up here for the night. Please subscribe to my channel. Doesn't cost anything. There's no money involved. I don't make any money from it. Just gives me an opportunity to get closer to my goal of having a direct link that I can share out there on the web. And I believe I need 100 subscribers for that. And then it puts you in a position where YouTube will send you a notification or a reminder when I post a new video. So that way you won't miss anything. So, everybody wins, and it's not a real big inconvenience for you guys. So please subscribe, like videos, and by all means ask questions or send messages through a video. If you think of something, or you have a question about something, or you want to know how I'm doing something, shoot me a message and let me know. Because I run into people all the time now that are always asking me techniques, tips, where do I go, what's my favorite time, that kind of stuff. So I'm here to help. That's the whole method of this nonsense. So let's just keep them coming, and I will post a video tomorrow, guys. Have a great night.